nations, man. You're gonna get it. You're gonna bow down. You're gonna bow down.
Shalom. Kol holo Yahweh Ba'asum Yosha Ba'asum Rikach Wadash. The bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders, at Great Millstone, who rule well. It taught me this truth. Much respect to you brothers out there, just preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle of David that's being risen up right before your very eyes. The hopeful elect, the speckled bird, to you. I say shalom. Let's get into this lesson. Right, this is just going to be a quick hit. But hey, it's a clear showing in the scriptures that not many noble, right? Not many famous people, not many men of high regard within this life is going to get this truth, right? I like Walker Flock of Flame. Well, just because I like Walker Flock of Flame doesn't mean that is he going to make it? No, it's all about getting these scriptures, man. Getting into the truth. Repenting. Having fear of the Lord. You see, he met men of the Lord, and he didn't take heed. There's nothing new under the sun. Jake has been constantly doing that, right? The men of the Lord is out there, and us out there is showing there's still mercy, but there's a time coming where the Lord is going to draw back his spirit. You see, these people is laughing now, but they're going to be starving later. The men of the Lord is a sign that the Lord still has compassion upon his people. But when the Lord draws back, right, has his men now out there on the highways and byways, oh yeah, men like Walker Flock of Flame, they're going to be searching. They're going to be wishing that they took heed. They're going to be wishing that they took heed. Hey, Walker Flock of Flame is actually going to be on flames. He's most definitely probably going to take that a C-hip, man. That dude on the phone, man, talking a whole bunch of madness, couldn't even tell him what the MOTB is. These are men that's within your corner. The Lord had mercy upon you to meet the men of the Lord, but you didn't take heed. So what's that? You march yourself. You march yourself. Let's go ahead and get some scriptures. All right. Let's get this right here. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 26. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh and not many mighty, not many noble are called. There's a whole bunch of Jakes out there, man, that's in high regard amongst our people's eyes. Our people look up to them. Hey, what they call them in the world, idols. They're literally idols to these people, man. These people out here worshiping these people, right? Wishing that they can be like them. But us, as the men of the Lord, we're trying our darnest, man. We're trying our best to emulate Yahweh Shai, man, when he was on the scene, to emulate our forefathers, right? Our apostles and elders and brothers on down, the elder bishops have been giving us game on how to conduct ourselves within this walk, how to maneuver within this walk. And we're trying to do that to the best of our ability because, hey, we want that spiritual power. We want those new bodies. We want that protection. That's what we looking forward to. We ain't trying to be like no damn celebrity when a lot of them had to take that Diddy deal, if you catch my drift. You know what I'm saying? We ain't with that. This is verse 27. But power have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and power have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. You see, by the foolishness of preaching. See, these brothers will look foolish to the people out there in the world. What you wearing? What you got on your head? You know, what y'all preaching? What type of doctrine is that? You know, not knowing that this is the true fountain of life, right? Verse 28, and the base things of the world and the things which are despised have power chosen, yea, and the things which are not to bring to naught the things that are, that no flesh shall glory in his presence, right? The Lord has chosen this. The men out there on the highways and byways and us doing our lessons, right? The majority of people is going to scoff and mock at what we're doing. But this is the true thing. And this is what the Lord is truly dealing with, man. It's what the Lord is dealing with. They're going to have to learn the hard way. The Lord ain't dealing with what you got, right? As the scriptures say, carnal minded. To be carnal minded is death, just roughly paraphrasing. To be spiritually minded is life, right? Yeah, you may know that you're a what do you say, a Blackfoot Indian, which goes back to Jake. And who gave you the name Indian? Who gave you the name Native American? Right? You will either be Gad or Reuben, right? That's who you would be. And if you would have sat there and got the true understanding instead of, nah, I'm this, nah. You know what I'm saying? You would have got the true correction, man. You would have got the true correction. But, it's nothing new under the sun. And that's how Jake is going to conduct themselves conduct themselves within this world, Salakia. It's Isaiah 30 verse 20. And though the Lord, Yahweh Shemiel Shai, give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers, right? You saw your teachers out there. You saw some of the men of the Lord. Hey, Yahweh Ratazah, these are the men of the Lord, right? You saw them out there, but you didn't take heed. And thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, right? This is the elect, right? This is the elect. This is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. Hey, when I heard the name of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, I knew this was the truth. When I started hearing the men of GMS with the 100% doctrine, which you other camps like to get butthurt about, I knew this was the truth. I knew this was the way, walk ye in it. Right? And Yahweh Ratazah, you brothers as well, you sisters as well that's listening and learning, right? You're of the elect as well, if you're taking heed to this thing, right? Let's get the last verse. Ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver and the ornament of molten images of gold, right? That Caesar Borgia around your neck, that unk around your neck, and whatever other gods that you were serving before you got this truth. Thou shalt cast them away as a minstrel's cloth, and thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence. You see, you're not going to be dealing with that. You're going to be dealing with the 100% truth, and you're going to be pleasing the Lord, walking this walk, not just talking it, but walking this walk, trying to make your calling and election sure to the best of your ability. Right? Get this right here. 2 Chronicles 36 verse 15. And the Lord Yahweh power of their fathers sent them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sinning, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. You see, the Lord was actually merciful that you ran into possible men of the Lord. But Jake is hard-headed. Jake want to do whatever Jake want to do. Right? Right? So this is what Jake did. They pretty much spat on the mercy of the Lord. Verse 16, but they mock the messages of power and despise his words and misuse his prophets. You see, didn't he despise us? No, I'm an Indian. You're still a Jake. You're still an Israelite. All right? Until the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Shemiel Shai, rose against his people until there was no remedy. Therefore he brought upon them the kings of the Chaldees, who slew their young man with the sword in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon the young man or maiden or old man or him that stooped for the age. He gave them all into his hands. And this is coming. You 2/3 niggas that don't want to take heed, that want to do whatever y'all want to do, judgment is coming. Judgment is coming, and prepare for that. The Lord's not going to have any mercy. Matter of fact, this is the spirit right here in Ezekiel 9 verse 4. As you get right here, Ezekiel 9 and verse 4, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right? And we're going to get into that word mark, because you had old boy on the phone. He couldn't break down what the MOTB was, man. And here it is. You had men that can give you the true breakdown, right? It's the why, right? And mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. Hey, if he would have took heed and got this correction, he would have been a Yahweh Razah. If he would have been exempt from judgment. Verse 5, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and began in my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient man, which were before the house. Right? So the Lord's not a respecter of persons. Old, young, children, whatever. They all gonna get it. Because they're disrespectful and they spat on the mercy on the Lord. Let's get this right here. Proverbs 8 and verse 34. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. Whosoever findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. You see that? And this is what we're doing out here on the highways and byways, right? Blowing that trumpet, watching daily, right? Letting Jake know, hey, danger, wickedness, evil is coming. Judgment is coming. But Jake don't want to take heed. Right? The purpose of Yahushua's parables, Mark 4 and verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Right? There's a distinction. The elect is going to get it. The 2/3 are not going to get it. Right? This is why, Jay can't get it. We moving on. Right? We perceive that Jake is not getting it. We're not going to beat him over the head to get it. The scriptures say what the scriptures say. Right? Don't cast your pearls before swine. Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whatsoever have, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever have not, for him shall be taken away, even that he have. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. It's not given unto them to understand. And this is a prime example of that. Right? So Yahweh desires an Yahweh desires an edifying lesson. A ball. Shalom.